Hello 7th grade. Today I'm going to show you how to make the op art sphere, the practice one for your 7th grade term project. What you'll need today to do this is an eraser, 2 sharpened pencils, a 9x12 piece of drawing paper, a ruler, and a safety compass. So we're going to start with the safety compass, and on the end of the safety compass there's a little metal grommet there. That's what we're going to use to line up the center of our circle. So taking one sharpened pencil, I'm going to go right in the center here, and I'm going to keep this hand really steady. My other hand is going to pivot. So I'm going to choose a point along the end of the compass on either side and decide how large I want my circle to be. Notice I'm keeping this hand really steady, and I'm going to pivot, and that should line up. There we go, that's pretty good. So now I've got my circle, and I'm going to use the ruler to divide this in half. Now I want to turn my shape into a form, and I'm going to do that by making my circle become a sphere by dividing it first vertically, then horizontally. I'm going to create 2 lines on the left side, 2 lines on the right side, 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom to start to give this the illusion that it has a form to it, that it's coming off the page. So 2 vertical lines on one side. I'm going to keep them about equal distance apart, and notice that I'm keeping my lines nice and sketchy. I'm actually pressing darker on here for the video than I would be if I was doing this for my term project, because we're going to cover these in colored pencil after, and I don't want the colored pencil, or I don't want the pencil, I'm sorry, to show through when we do our colored pencil. Now we need our 2 horizontal lines. These are arched lines. They're slightly got a little curve to them. If you find it easier to turn your page when you're making the lines, you can. 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom, 2 on the left, 2 on the right, and you can already see how this shape is starting to get a form to it, where it looks like it's starting to come off the page. When you go in and add the colored pencil, that's really going to give a nice effect. I want to make my background now, so using the ruler, I'm going to line this up with the edge of the paper. And I'm going to start to create some background lines. If I line my next line up with the edge of the ruler again, should be the same size. I don't have to worry about measuring my background. You'll see when I got to my sphere that I stopped, picked up my pencil, put it back down, and then continued on the other side. Now I'm going to do this all the way across the page with horizontal lines all the way to the end, and then I would turn my page and do it again with vertical lines, or here we go, actually more horizontal lines because I've turned the page. I'm going to do the lines here. So I'm going to have a row of horizontals and a row of verticals, and this should fill the whole background. When you do that and you finish your background, it should look something like this one here that I've started. So I finished my background, and you can see where I've begun to select my colors. We're going to be using the Blick Studio colored pencils, and I've started to add in color in the background there as well. When I'm coloring these in, it's not a race. This is a term project. It's going to take us the entire term to color these in nice and neatly. So you'll see I'm changing the direction that I'm using my colored pencil to really fill these spaces in. If your pencil lines are too dark, remember that your pencil will show through your colored pencil, so you will want to lighten them. Now this becomes a pattern. You have the choice of 2 colors for each sphere that you're going to be doing for your term project, and 2 colors for the background. If you want them to be different colors, you can. So I've got this maroon and yellow that's happening on my sphere. If I wanted 2 different colors for the background, maybe a blue and a green, I could do that, but no more than 2 colors on each sphere and no more than 2 colors for your background. A finished piece for the term project looks something like this. This one was done by a 7th grade student this year. You can see she did a very nice job coloring in her background and her spheres nice and neatly. The other thing that you will notice is this cast shadow that she has on all of her spheres. So once you finish drawing out your circle, and once you have finished doing your background lines, let me just fix that there, I'm sorry. Once you finish doing your circle and your background lines, you will want to color in the whole piece and then add that shadow. And the shadow is a crescent shape You can see I've started to sketch out a shadow on this example here. So it's like a moon shape. It's thinner on the side and thicker as we get to the back side here. This you would not shade in until your whole background was already colored in. So once you have your background colored, you can go into the darker color. So this student, she could have chose a darker blue or the black colored pencil works as well. All right, folks, so we're gonna get started on these. All the materials that you need are at the front of the room, and I will be around the class to help. You can also rewind and stop and replay my video at any point, or just raise your hand if you have a question. Thanks.